There is nothing more exciting and more fulfilling than growing a few vegetables, but if you're limited in terms of space, you really have to think very carefully about what crops are worthwhile in terms of both labor and production. And first early new potatoes are brilliant in a small space. Now, I say first earlies are the ones that mature most quickly and in a small space. You want a yield that comes fast, rather than waiting for absolutely months. This is a potato variety called Accent. It is a first early and it's been chitted. That means it's been sprouted. The eyes on these seed potatoes, and always buy seed potatoes because they're guaranteed to be virus-free, rather than ones that have just sprouted in the cupboard under the sink. These, when they've been chitted, will crop that little bit earlier, rather than planting them with just plain ordinary eyes on them, rather than little shoots. So chit your potatoes. They're going to take a good month, 6 weeks for those sprouts to come up, so you can start some January, February, early March. The sooner you start, the sooner you can plant, and you can plant them quite simply in a bag like this, or a growing bag if you want. But the great delight about planting in this is that you can earth up, more of which in a minute. A bit of compost in the bottom. This is ordinary, peat-free compost. I've got about 3 or 4 inches in there, and I'll space out these sprouted or chitted seed potatoes. I can get about 5 in there, I reckon. I'm a bit greedy. Some people only put 3, but I want as many spuds as possible. So rather like the face of a 5 dice, there they are. I'm then going to put more compost on the top, about 2 or 3 inches, making sure they're underneath it. And as soon as those shoots start to grow, I'll be earthing up a bit more. But where are you going to put this now you've done it? Sheltered place, light place. If you really want, if you've got a cool greenhouse and you want to get them shifting, you can put them in that. A greenhouse, porch, or a carport, somewhere sheltered but in good light. And when those shoots start to appear through the surface of the compost, and they get up to about 3 inches, add a little more all the time until you're about halfway up the sack. Because what you're doing is making sure that those tubers don't get to the light. If the light gets to them, they'll go green, they're nasty tasting and actually poisonous. Not something you need worry about because soon, when you've got the compost up to here, you can let them go. And the foliage on the top will get absolutely enormous. And in about 8 to 10 weeks' time, after you've planted, that's when you can scrape away that compost and see what's underneath. Don't be too greedy. You're not going to get socking great spuds. You're going to get lovely new ones that will be fabulous, cooked in a pan with mint and floating in butter. Well, that's why we do it, really, isn't it? Also check out our vegetable grow bags 10-gallon, which will help you out in growing potatoes easily. Link is given in the description. From earthy new potatoes and bite-sized salad varieties to flurry bakers and roasters, the humble potato remains the nation's favorite vegetable. If you're a potato aficionado, there's a huge number of exciting potato varieties you can grow that you'll never see in the shops. You don't even need a garden to grow them. Many grow very happily in large bags or pots on a balcony or patio. There are 3 main types of potato to grow, named according to when you plant and harvest them. First early or new potatoes are the earliest to crop, in June and July. They don't store for long, so are best eaten fresh. Second earlies, also called new potatoes, take a few more weeks to mature and are harvested in July and August. These also don't store for long, so are best eaten fresh. Salad potatoes have a firm, waxy texture and many have an intense, nutty flavor. They are usually first earlies or second earlies. Main crop potatoes take the longest to mature and are harvested from August to October. They are suitable for baking, roasting, and mashing, and can be stored for a few months. When to plant potatoes? In warmer regions, it's possible to plant a second batch of main crop potatoes in late summer, which will yield a crop of delicious potatoes for Christmas. Place seed potatoes in trays or egg cartons with the end that has the most eyes uppermost. Stand in a cool, light spot until 1–2 centimeters long shoots have formed. This could take up to 6 weeks. How to plant potatoes. You can grow your own potatoes by planting out seed potatoes, which are small potato tubers rather than actual seeds. You can buy seed potatoes from late winter. Don't be tempted to grow potatoes from old potatoes from the veg rack, as they won't produce reliable crops. Homegrown potatoes do well in all types of soil, but the richer the better, so dig in plenty of well-rotted organic matter, such as garden compost. An open, sunny site is best. While main crop potatoes grow well in the ground, early or salad potatoes will also do well in large pots and bags. When growing potatoes in the ground, plant earlies in salad types 12 centimeters deep and 30 centimeters apart, with 60 centimeters between rows. Main crop potatoes require more space to produce a decent crop. Plant them 12 centimeters deep and 38 centimeters apart, with 75 centimeters between rows. Plant potatoes with the shoots, or eyes, facing upwards. Caring for your crop. Water potatoes regularly, especially during warm, dry spells, and keep the soil weed free. As the potato plants grow, use a spade or hoe to cover the shoots with soil to stop the developing tubers becoming green and indible. This is called earthing up. Leave the top few centimeters poking out the top. As plants continue to grow, you will need to earth them up again. When to harvest potatoes. First, early potatoes are harvested in June and July. When the plants are still flowering and the potatoes are about the size of a large hen's egg, gently rummage around in the soil to check. Cut the potato plants, also known as haulms, to the ground, then gently prise the plants out of the ground with a fork. These potatoes don't store well, so dig up the potatoes as and when you want to eat them. Second earlies are harvested in July and August, again when the plants are still flowering. Harvest in the same way as first earlies. Again, these potatoes don't store well, so dig up them as and when you want to eat them. Main crop potatoes are harvested from August to October, when the leaves on the plants have turned yellow and died down. Choose a dry day to dig up your crop so that they store better. Cut the plants to the ground and dig up your potatoes, discarding any that are bruised or have been attacked by pests. Our today's video ends here. We hope you liked the video. Also watch our previous video about trick to growing apple fruit and pear fruit to be a single tree. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. Thank you.